My name is Ethan, and this is the hardest story I've ever told. Even now, when I think about it, my heart feels heavy. I'm not proud of this story, but it's mine, and it changed everything. My job, my friends, the woman I loved, even the future I thought I had. All of it slipped through my fingers because of one stupid mistake. I live in a small town near Brighton, on the south coast of England. It's a small, quiet town where nothing dramatic ever happened. Life used to feel simple. I worked as a project manager at a small company. I had good friends. And for 8 years, I had Anna. She was warm, funny, and the kind of person who made ordinary days feel special. We talked about getting married someday, a little house close to the sea, maybe a family when the time was right. Then I ruined everything. It happened on a late work night. A project was falling behind, and everyone was tired. That was when I got close to Jenna, a colleague from another department. She was confident and always knew how to make people laugh. Things with Anna and me had been difficult for a while, and instead of fixing things, I made the worst decision of my life. Too much alcohol, too little sense, and I crossed a line I should never have gone near. I cheated. When Anna found out, I thought she would scream or break something. Instead, she just disappeared. No arguments, no goodbye. One day, I came home to an empty apartment. She had moved my things to my parents' house and blocked every way I could reach her. I tried everything. Calls, emails, messages, even talking to her friends. Nothing ever reached her. It felt like she had erased me. And honestly, I deserved that. Months passed. Word got around at work, and people stopped trusting me. I lost my job. Strange how fast a life can fall apart. But life moved on. Jenna and I stayed together. We tried to make something good out of something so wrong. A few months later, Jenna told me she was pregnant. It was a shock, but also something beautiful. Maybe a second chance. We decided to raise the baby together. For a while, I thought this was life's way of forgiving me. I focused on being a better man, working small jobs, helping Jenna, preparing for the baby. Then, everything changed again. It was a cold afternoon in early March when I saw Anna for the first time in almost a year. I was at a small shop near my house, buying baby clothes. And there she was. Her hair was shorter, her eyes colder. She looked stronger, but sad too. "Hi, Anna," I said softly. She turned. "Ethan," she said, without a smile. "Didn't expect to see you here." We stood in silence for a few seconds. I wanted to tell her everything, that I was sorry, that I was different now, that I missed her. But I couldn't. "I found something that belongs to you," she said. "A small keyring. From your grandfather, right?" "Yes," I said. "That means a lot to me. Thank you for keeping it." That keyring was one of the few things that really mattered to me. My granddad gave it to me when I was 6. "You can come get it next Saturday morning," she said flatly. "Or I'll throw it away." I wanted to explain that next Saturday was close to Jenna's due date, but Anna just turned and said, "Saturday morning. That's your only chance." Then she walked away. I stood there for a long time, feeling confused. Why now? Why after almost a year of silence? I tried to tell myself she was just trying to be kind, but deep down, something didn't feel right. Still, I agreed to go. I didn't want to lose the last piece of my granddad. The next week, Jenna gave birth to a healthy baby boy. He was perfect. Tiny, soft, and full of life. I held him in my arms for the first time, and tears ran down my face. I whispered, "I'll never fail you. I promise." I didn't know the world was already preparing the next blow. The morning I went to Anna's house, the world felt strangely still, like everything was waiting for something to happen. Our baby was only 1 day old. I told Jenna I needed to step out for a few minutes to pick up something from an old friend. I didn't mention it was Anna. I didn't want to bring stress into a day that was supposed to be full of joy. Driving through the quiet streets, my hands kept slipping on the steering wheel. It had been almost a year since I last stood in front of Anna's house. Nothing looked different from the outside, but the air around it felt heavier than I remembered. I rang the bell. She opened the door immediately, almost like she had been standing right behind it. "Hi," I said, trying to sound calm. "Come in," she replied, voice soft but unreadable. Inside, everything looked exactly the same as it used to. The same framed photos on the walls. The same faint smell of vanilla candles. It made me feel like I'd stepped into a memory instead of a home. Anna handed me the small silver keyring, the one shaped like a tiny boat. My grandfather had given it to me when I was 6. I used to keep it on my keys for luck. "Here," she said. "Thank you," I whispered. I turned to leave, but she stopped me. "Ethan, can we talk? Just for a few minutes." I hesitated. I knew I shouldn't stay. Jenna was at the hospital, and my baby was waiting for me. But there was something in Anna's eyes, sadness, maybe curiosity, that made me nod. "Okay," I said. "Just a few minutes." We sat in the living room. She held her coffee cup like it was keeping her hands warm. "Do you ever think about what happened?" she asked. "All the time," I said. "Every single day. I wish I could take everything back." She nodded slowly, like she had been waiting to hear those words. "I hope your new family brings you happiness." "I'm trying to be better," I said quietly. "For my son." She stood up, stepped closer, and for a moment looked almost like the old Anna. She hugged me. It felt strange, not romantic, not emotional, just full of old memories and quiet pain. I held on a little longer than I should have. I whispered, "I'm sorry, Anna." She didn't reply. When I stepped back, she smiled faintly and said, "Take care, Ethan." I nodded. "You too." I left feeling strangely lighter, thinking maybe this meant forgiveness. I drove straight to the hospital, ready to see my son again. But when I reached the hospital, everything fell apart. The nurse at the desk looked uncomfortable when I said I was there to see Jenna and our baby. "I'm sorry," she said. "You're not allowed in." "What?" "I'm the father. The mother has asked that you not be given access." 2 security guards walked toward me. I felt my voice crack as I said, "Please, just let me speak to her. My son is in there." But they led me outside. Finally, my phone buzzed. A message from Jenna's mother. A video. When I opened it, my blood turned cold. Doorbell footage from Anna's house. It showed me walking into Anna's house that morning. Me coming out almost an hour later. The camera captured me hugging Anna, at an angle that made it look like a kiss. Her message read, "Did he even shower before holding your newborn? Congratulations on choosing him." My whole world tilted. My hands shook so hard I nearly dropped the phone. Everything I had tried to rebuild, my family, my new life, was falling apart in one cruel moment. "No, no, this isn't real," I whispered. But it was. Anna had set me up. I stood outside the hospital, frozen, staring at my phone as the video looped again and again. My throat felt tight. My legs felt weak. The angle of the doorbell camera made everything look worse than it was. To anyone watching, it looked like I had gone straight to Anna's house the morning after my son was born and kissed her. I tried calling Anna. No answer. I sent her a message anyway, hands shaking. "Please, Anna. You know what that video looks like. Tell them the truth." For a moment, I saw the red sign pop up. Then her reply arrived. "I'm not letting you play the innocent one again." And then she blocked me. That single message hit harder than anything else. No discussion. No chance to explain. Just a wall slamming shut. I went home, but walking into the quiet apartment felt like walking into a punishment. I sat on the floor, the keyring cold in my hand, and tried to breathe. Then my phone buzzed again. A message from a friend. "Mate, did you really cheat on Jenna the day after the baby was born?" My stomach flipped. Anna had spread the video. My friends, people from my old job, even my parents, everyone had seen it. The next morning, I drove to my parents' house hoping they would at least listen. My mum opened the door slowly. There was no hug. "Why did you ruin everything again?" she asked quietly. "Mum, I didn't. She tricked me. I went there for the keyring. That's all." But she shook her head. "Ethan, stop lying. You already hurt Anna once. Now you've hurt Jenna too. What's wrong with you?" I felt my eyes fill with tears. "Mum, please. I'm telling the truth." She turned away. "You should leave." Her words stung like fire. The days after that felt heavy. Jenna never answered my calls. Her mother told me not to contact them again. I spoke to a lawyer, but he explained the truth I feared: seeing my son would take time, maybe months. And until everything was sorted, I wasn't allowed anywhere near him. I had held my baby boy once. Just once. Now every night, I sat in the dark holding the silver boat keyring, thinking about how one moment can destroy everything. Not the mistake I made a year ago, that was mine to carry. But this was something else. Revenge. Every part of my life seemed to crumble. My name. My relationships. My future with my son. Still, some nights, I walked past the hospital. I'd stand across the street in the cold, looking up at the windows. Just hoping I might see a nurse walk by with my son in her arms. Hoping he would somehow know I hadn't abandoned him. "Daddy's here," I would whisper. Even if no one heard me. 8 months passed, slow and heavy. I woke up every morning in the same small apartment, walls too quiet, coffee tasting like nothing. I still checked my phone sometimes, hoping Jenna might finally reach out. Nothing ever came. I tried sending messages in the early months, then letters, and even flowers. But deep down, I understood why she stayed silent. If I were in her place and saw that video, I might not believe me either. The lie looked too perfect. One afternoon I sat by the window with the silver keyring in my hand. I remembered my grandfather telling me, when people stop believing in you, you must keep believing in yourself. I wasn't sure I deserved that kind of grace, but I decided to try anyway. So, I started small. I found a part-time job at a local hardware store. It wasn't exciting, but it helped me feel grounded. I carried boxes for older customers, fixed small things for kids who showed up with broken bikes. People thanked me, and for a few moments each day, I felt like I wasn't invisible. At night, I wrote letters to my son. I kept them in a box under my bed. I wrote about the sound of the waves that morning, or how the clouds looked like soft cotton. And every letter ended the same way: I hope one day you'll know the real me. Then something unexpected happened. Mark, an old friend, emailed me. He said he saw Anna at a cafe, talking about me. She told someone he deserved it. He broke me first. Mark had recorded a short clip on his phone. Her voice was clear enough. It wasn't much, but it was proof. Proof she planned everything. I took it to my lawyer. For the first time in months, his expression changed. This evidence could help, he said. It might even open a path for you to see your son. For the first time, I felt a spark of hope. Maybe Jenna would learn the truth. Maybe I could rebuild the bridge I thought was gone forever. I learned something through all of this. Mistakes don't have to define us forever. What we do next matters more. I hurt people I loved. I paid for it. But I also learned how to stand up again. One day, when I finally see my son, I'll tell him, life will knock you down. But you get to choose how you rise. That is my story. A story of love, loss, lies, and a hope that refuses to die. Because even in the darkest night, there is always a chance to begin again.
If you were Jenna, would you believe Ethan after seeing the new evidence? Or would the video still be too hard to forget? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more interesting English stories. Key vocabulary from the story are: revenge, blocked, evidence, whisper, and rebuild. Revenge, hurting someone because they hurt you. Blocked, stopped someone from contacting you. Evidence, information that shows something is true. Whisper, speak very quietly. Rebuild, fix something and make it strong again. Lesson of the day. Evidence. Evidence is information that helps prove something is true. Examples from the story. This evidence could help, he said. It might even open a path for you to see your son. Mark recorded a short clip. It was proof she did it on purpose. More examples. The police looked for evidence at the scene. She needed evidence before she made her final decision. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share. You can watch the next story here or explore our playlist for more inspiring stories. And don't forget to subscribe. More interesting stories for learning English are coming soon.